Hi and welcome to Makeup with Gigi. Today we are going to create this awesome look while I get ready for work using the Jeffree Star Blood Money palette. If you'd like to see how we got here, please keep watching. Don't forget also to like and subscribe below. Alright everyone, it is time to get ready. So I've already primed my face using the Butter by Beauty Bakery. I have also added a little bit of powder to my cheeks and my T-zone with the Laura Mercier setting powder. This is just translucent, and my eyes are taped. So we're going to go ahead and prime my eyes now, and I'm going to use the Beauty Crop Stuck On You little pot primer here. And let me get my brush, and I'm just going to brush this on. I'm trying to be more aware of the faces I make when I do this, because while editing, I've had some good laughs. I hope you have too. So now we're going to blend this out. And I thought maybe while I got ready, we'll see if I can do two things at once here, I would tell just a little bit about how my makeup journey has started. I worked a work-at-home job for about 5 years, and circumstances came up and that job was not for me anymore. And so I decided I would take some time off, recover mentally from that previous job because it was a very high stress one. And then I'd return to the restaurant world. I started my working years in restaurants. I've always loved working in restaurants. It was just natural that I would go back to them. I always kind of in my head thought I would. So when I started working at a friend's restaurant, there was a bartender there, and she had just the prettiest eyeshadow all the time. And so finally, I asked her for a couple of tips because I was trying to wear makeup to work and not doing very well at all. So as you can see, it was kind of tragic. So I asked her for her best tips, and she told me a few things and mentioned maybe using some ColourPop because they made great colors and the palettes are affordable. At the time they were only like I think $8 a palette, $10 a palette, $12. They've recently gone up in price a couple times and I'm not real happy about that ColourPop. So I started watching some videos online, and looking up these palettes she was talking about, and ended up learning quite a bit. So I started buying some palettes, started buying some makeup, started playing with it. And then I started buying more makeup and more makeup. And speaking of my addiction to buying more makeup, here's one of the ones that I had to have the day it came out, the Jeffree Star Blood Money. As per the Wheel of Palettes, this is what we're going to be using today. If you have other greens you would like to use, that's fine. If you don't know of other greens that may have similar, other companies that do make some, I know ColourPop does. I have their Meant to Be palette, and I have their High Tide palette, both of which are greens, teals. Palettes I don't have that would also be of honorable mention here would be the Just My Luck if you can get a hold of it. I don't have it because it seems to be hard to get these days. It may be discontinued, it may not be, I may just be missing it. So anyway, we're going to be using the Jeffree Star Blood Money palette, and for those of you who have not seen it, let me just, there you go. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorites. I used it for the whole month of March when I did my green every day, and that was a great way for me to work on my technique. So anyway, that's how my makeup journey started. A girl at work had pretty makeup, and I wanted to have pretty makeup too. And so there were lots of videos and lots of practice and some looks that were just not very good. And then some looks that I really wish I could do it again, but I don't think I could if I tried. And every time you put on makeup, it's practice. Even if you're not going anywhere, just play in it. It's alright. I know makeup's expensive and you don't want to waste it, but you don't use that much product when you just, play with your eyeshadow one night. See what happens. You may figure something out that you've been trying to do, and just like anything else, it's a matter of practice. That's how you get good at things. That's why when we were kids, you had ball practice every week, twice a week sometimes, because they wanted you to get good at it. Me, when I was a kid, I hated when my parents would sign me up for things like soccer or t-ball or baseball. I wasn't a very athletic kid. I was definitely a more hang out with the boys and pretend I smoked cigarettes behind the school. But alas, I did. I played soccer. I played softball. I played volleyball. I actually enjoyed volleyball. That was a lot of fun. Oh, I guess I should tell you what I'm using. I'm using the color right here, Make It Rain. It's kind of like an army-ish, not quite khaki green, but definitely part of the camo spectrum. And I've got that going all along here. And it's not too dark. And let me tell you why. Because I am now going to take one of my favorites from this whole palette. I would probably use it every time I use this palette. The Chameleon Fetish, which is this like neon green here. It's not actually neon, it's not actually UV, which was a little sad or disappointing. Actually, it is a night that we do the nightclub, so I could use some UV neon pigment. We'll just put him out and maybe we work him in. I've got a yellow friend in there. Maybe we need some yellow to blend later. Alright, so we're going to take Chameleon Fetish, which is that green color I just showed you on the Jeffree Star palette, and we're going to go right here. And this one I am going to go a little heavy because it is a little bit more sheer, just being such a light color. You can't really see that one. Maybe we try Poison Ivy, which is the one next to it. It's definitely more of a shimmer, but it is just, oh yeah. Yep, we'll do that same thing on the other end. Put down a little Chameleon Fetish, and then a little Poison Ivy. See, and Poison Ivy usually ends up being my lid color. This is a nice change for me. I'm just switching back and forth here between the, again, BH Cosmetics number 1, and this is the number 4, which is just a smaller one. Okay, now I'll take a little more Make It Rain and blend them together. Okay. So again, we're going to take Chameleon Fetish and get a decent, get it to show up a little bit. This is a nice base to put our Poison Ivy. Okay. Smooth out. And a little bit of Make It Rain, just to blend them together. Okay. So now, I want to do something out here just to give it a little bit of dark. I'm going to use my smaller brush clean it off. Actually, no, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my UV pigment there. And maybe by the end of the night it will still be UV. So I got these off Amazon and it'll be linked below with everything else. I just use what's in the cap. It is a loose pigment. I can't even tilt it because it will spill. But it is a loose pigment. Be careful, it will go everywhere. And then your house may look like a crime scene. And that may or may not be your decor. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. Big true crime fan. I really like Bailey Sarian's Murder Mystery Mondays. I look forward to those. Big fan of the Law and Order SVU. I will offer this warning with these pigments. I have used them as eyeshadows. I have used them as eyeliners by mixing them with a little bit of Duraline by Inglot. Is that the back? I can't even tell. Stupid clear bottle. I do not recommend them close to your actual eye. Up in this area, they don't seem to bother me so much, but they are a little irritating if I put them like on my lid or as a liner. And since it's a UV pigment and it is going to be under a black light at some point tonight, I do want to just take my black light and check that I have everything blended in. And that also gives me an opportunity to see any fallout and get rid of that ASAP. Okay, see, it's just everywhere. I mean, it's all on, I don't know if you can see it, it's all on me, but, and I don't know if that's picking up on camera or not. Yeah, I don't know if the UV actually picks up on camera. Maybe if I dim the lights some. No, it still really doesn't pick up. Anyway, if you're going to use UV pigments, I also highly recommend these little UV flashlights. I will link them below too on Amazon. Just to make sure that your pigments are dispersing evenly. They can be a little patchy sometimes. So I think I'm going to call that good. And now we're going to dip in and go do the other side.
Where they're having hurricanes. While I'm filming this, I probably won't post this for another week or so. This is all like old news.
See here. And see these pigments, they go wherever they want. They get out of hand. And you gotta just be ready to rein them in and tone them down. Come on, shorty. There we go. It's in my hair. UV pigment everywhere. Goodness, all on my headband. Okay. So, now that we've got that UV pigment on there, now we just need to do our lids and finish up our eyes. Now we're ready to do the lid, and I am going to use the color here, Money Heist. And it looks real gold in the pan, but it's got a really pretty, like, greenish iridescence to it. And I am just going to use my finger to apply it because I think that works the best for me. And we're just going to build it up. And I'm going to do it fairly close inside here because I do still want to add something a little darker on this side. I'm just not sure which way I want to go yet, you know. I'm thinking about it here for a minute. think we're going to do Jaded. Let me get all the UV pigment off of this brush. Alright, so we're going to take just a little bit of the color right here, Jaded. And it is going to blend out to be a darker kind of tealish color, but with everything else I think it's going to be nice. I don't want a whole lot, I just want something to kind of define the end here. And that is why I waited until the very end. I knew it wouldn't be a lot. And I am going to bring it just a little bit up through here, just for definition. And make sure it's all blended in. And then I also, because that is the area where the UV pigment is, I want to just ensure everything's still blended. Okay. And again, because of the UV pigments, I want to dust that brush off now before I try going in on the other side. And the last thing I want to do before I do my wings is take my little flat brush here. It is a Eco Tools Precision Blending, and I'm going to go into the color Divine Intervention. It is a white with green iridescent sparkles. It is so pretty. Oh, y'all, we didn't do our eyebrows. Alright, well, I guess we're going to do that next. I'm just going to blend Divine Intervention and make sure that it's blended in nicely with that UV. Okay, and again, just quick check to make sure that it's still going to do its thing. By the time I'm in the black lights tonight, it may not, but we tried, right? We tried. I guess I could take it with big dreams of touching it up, but you know what? I never touch it up. There's never time. You know, there's never time. By the time I get done with one, I'm ready to sit down, have my dinner, and bust out to number 2. That sounds pretty gross. So now I've got my e.l.f. Precision, I looked this up, it's a liquid eyeliner, it's linked below. And while I'm taking a break and fast forwarding this, or maybe deleting it, but you take a minute, like and subscribe below, maybe drop me a comment, tell me what you think so far. Okay friends, so now I've got my wings and my eyebrows done, and we are going to go in and start on my complexion. I'm going to use the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Tinted Moisturizer in the color Medium 9W. I'm going to take a couple of pumps on my hand, and then I'm going to tap my Beauty Blender and just blend that into my face. I am going to try to avoid my under eye area right here on both sides, and that way I avoid having too much product caking up there. And that's one of the reasons I do that, is to avoid any chance of excess creasing. I'm already getting old and have enough wrinkles and creases going on. I don't need any help from my face products, you know? Okay, I'm also going to take at this time my ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Concealer, and this is in the shade Light 50W. And I'll put this over this little mountain going on under my chin here. And a little bit right here. That's just going to blend in a minute anyway. I probably didn't need that. And just gently tap. I like to do this with my finger so I don't overblend what I'm trying to cover. There you go. See? He's still there. You can still see him, but he's just not real obvious now. Okay, and now I like this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser. And this is the color 120 Light Pale. Very much too light for me this time of year. Perfect for under eye brightening. And I like it because you just roll it up and you put on what you need in little dots here, a little swipe. And then it blends in beautifully. There we go, all brightened up. Now that we've got our face lightened and brightened, put the right cap on the right tool here. Okay, put these away. And alright, now that we're lightened and brightened, I'm going to take my iconic London, and this is the Ladies Chaser Face Palette. And the one I use, I think it is technically the contour color. And then I oftentimes use this other blusher type color. Today I think I'm just going to use the contour, and then I'm going to use a different blush because I pulled out an old favorite and now I'm back in love with it. And we're just going to contour right under our cheekbones. And under your jawline. And I even go as far as a little bit right here under my ear just to kind of, you know, give it the little crisp little thing going on. Again, under the cheekbones. I'm getting close to pan here. I could really use just this color. I guess I'm going to have to take it to Ulta with me and have them help me find some kind of similar something. Or maybe it comes in a single. Maybe I just don't know this. Okay, and then just with whatever's left on my brush, I'm just going to go up and down my nose. And up and down my nose. Alright, under my lip here. Just to kind of help create a shadow there. Kind of a plumping thing going on. Alright, one more swish around the pan, and we're going to do my forehead and make sure it's blended into my hairline. Okay. And I'm going to take out my ColourPop Pressed Powder Blush. This is Truffle Shuffle. This may have been from the Animal Crossing collection. I'm not sure. I should remember that, but I don't. I bought it. But anyway, we're just going to spin our little brush around. And I love this. It's a very playful, fun pink. And it's got a little bit of a gold sparkle reflect in it. A bits of gold glitter. Not a lot. I'm still going to highlight. Yourself, this girl, she always put on so much blush. But then Shorty, he evens everybody out. Right, Shorty? Right. Do you name your brushes? Do you form like relationships with them? Like Shorty, he's got a whole backstory. The gift set he came in, it sat unwanted for years in the warehouse. And then finally last year, somebody just decided, we gotta get rid of these. And Shorty was for sure certain that they were just gonna go in the trash. But instead they ended up at a store and somebody bought it and gifted it. And now Shorty has a loving home. So Shorty's a rescue, technically. So, complexion is almost done. We're going to take a break here from that and for just a minute and finish up under our eyes. Again, I'm going to take the Blood Money palette or whatever green palette you've decided you wanted to use. And I'm going to locate my Morphe M165, little angled guy. And I'm going to take just a little bit of Jaded here, which was that dark color we did just right here, very little. And I'm just going to link that with my wing so it all kind of becomes seamless into one piece. And I'm going to do that on both sides. And I'm not taking Jaded too far up, because I am going to go back in with Make It Rain, that first color we used. And I'm going to do that from the front part of my lashes over here to the middle. And depending on the color and how it lays down, sometimes that's a swiping, sometimes that's a tapping. It also depends on if my eyelashes want to cooperate. Sometimes they're all like, nope, we're not moving. Okay. And then with my smaller of the blending brushes, it's the number 4 for those of you following along. And I'm going to dip it into Chameleon Fetish and just use that to kind of blend out. And you will notice I did not set my concealer with any powder. With this Age Rewind one, I really don't like to. It says Age Rewind, but it also kind of fills in the wrinkles a little bit. I don't know. I just don't like to put too much powder on top of it. I may throw a little bit on here because it is, I feel like it might need for airbrushing reasons. Not even really where I put concealer, I guess. But there's already so many other powders that go on top of it, with it being a little more drying to my skin than I like. But I like the coverage. I just don't like to do a lot of powder. And then we'll dust off with Shorty. Because it is starting to look just a little bit like the Sahara on my face here, we're gonna spritz it down. Not a full-on shower this time. Just a little spritz to, you know, get everybody a little bit moist again. Who hates that word, moist? Moist. I know I just lost all my subscribers right there. It was worth it. So now that that setting spray has had just a minute to kind of settle and dry up, I'm going to take a small little pointy brush. Again, for those of you following along, this is the BH Cosmetics Zodiac number 5. This little synthetic pointy guy. I'm going to dust his little head off and make sure he doesn't have anything still on there from yesterday. And I'm going to take the color CEO, which is a beautiful gold. And I'm going to just do that for my inner corner here. And just be careful putting this brush in there. If it's a denser brush, don't push too hard because it is a soft shadow. So now I've got my liner and my lashes done. I used for my eyelashes the waterproof Better Than Sex by Too Faced. It's the volumizing one. I don't know if that makes a difference. I also, for the top, for my tight line on the top, I used the this says Kat Von D Everlasting, and it's in the color Lemmy, which is green. I was for sure that this was not Kat Von D still. Okay, so it is. It's not KVD Beauty. I don't know if that color still exists since there has been some changes within the brand. I also, on my bottom waterline, used the NYX Professional Makeup eyeliner pencil, and it's in the color Gold Plated. Yes, this bougie bitch has gold eyeliner. And, I mean, you can kind of tell in person. I don't know how much you can tell on camera there, but I love it. It's a really pretty color, and it's very creamy, and it goes on just very nicely. Let's see. There, you can kind of see. I really like it. And with that said, all we have left to do is highlight. I've got my Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild palette right here and my faithful highlighting brush again. I have no clue where this brush came from. I guess it was in a BoxyCharm. It is a Schmisklam, maybe? It's an angled brush, P30. But I like it. It came in a BoxyCharm, and it's perfect for highlighting. I got, I guess, another one of their brushes. Yeah, their round brush, also in a different BoxyCharm. So I do really like them. I use both of them fairly frequently, but I like the angled one for highlighter. So we're going to go into Lucky Clover here, which is just got a green tint to it, keeping with our theme today. And we're just going to highlight top of our cheekbone here. Maybe drop a little bit out. And then up towards our temple. My nose. And then give a good blend of everything with a little shorty here. Almost forgot Cupid's bow. So today for lips, we're going to go kind of simple. I've got my ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the color BFF2. And I'm going to just line real quick. Okay, and I'm going to use the Jeffree Star Velour Liquid Lipstick. This is the color Androgyny. It's just like a pretty basic mauvish color. Now that's done, and we're gonna set our face with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray since I have to work all friggin' night. But I will say, is she pricey? Is she good? I did a test one day where I wore it at Six Flags. That was pretty good. Maybe I'll post that. Maybe I won't. We'll see.
All right, Snapchat. So we're here at Six Flags over Georgia. We are in line for Thunder River. We're going to test the durability in the ultimate test of the Urban Decay Setting Spray. Will it survive Thunder River? Stay tuned. Well, Snapchat, I can't say it for the rest of me, but my face, still not looking too bad. We went on water rides. I didn't get stuck under the waterfall at Thunder River, but I did ride it. I rode the logs. I rode all the roller coasters. I sweated my ass off today, but I still look pretty. Hooray! So, Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. It's gonna be one that passes the test. Hooray!
All right, we've made it in the house. There's a better view.
Not bad.
Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe below. Bye!